Shanti. Avyakt BaapDada. Today's date 17/4/1969. 17th of April 1969. Title is Only Those Who Have Love for Making Effort Can Be Loved by All. Inauguration of the Mount Abu Museum. Namaste from Baba to all the loving children. Whom do you have love for? Some said the Father and some said for service. What else do you have love for? One aspect still remains. Of course, you have love for BaapDada, but you should also have greater love for effort. You have love for the Divine Family, for service, and for BaapDada anyway. But according to the present time, there should be greater love for effort. Those who have love for effort will be loved by all. Each one of you should check how much love you have for effort. You have love for BaapDada because he inspires you to make effort. You will have love for the reward only when you first have love for effort. You cannot give or take love from the Divine Family until there is love for effort. If you have love for effort, you can then become worthy to claim love from each other. You have gathered here because of love. However, it is love for BaapDada. Now, have love for effort because it is this effort which creates the reward of the whole cycle for you children. BaapDada has given, Baba is saying, BaapDada has even greater love than you children have, to the extent that someone is loving, accordingly he continues to receive the response of that love. Take love with the Avyakt form. To what extent have you learned the lesson of Avyakt love? This is the lesson of the present time. Take love through your Avyakt form and give the proof of service with love. To what extent have you made the Baba is saying, to what extent have you made the lesson of Avyakt love form? What do you think the result is? Have you reached halfway? Baba is asking the result of the majority. Some said 25%, some said 75%. There is such a vast difference between 25% and 75%. The majority think that it is 25%. Why is there such a result? What is the reason for this? Is that if there is 25% Avyakt love, what kind of love is the remaining 75%? If the majority of you have a result of only 25%, how will you claim pass marks in the future? Now, Avyakt love is the main thing. Avyakt love gives power to the pilgrimage of remembrance. Avyakt love helps in creating an Avyakt stage. Why is there a result of only 25%? Have you thought of the reason? According to the time, you should not have this result. According to the time now, it should be 75%. So, what will you do to achieve such a result? What is the method for that? Introversion. You always say that you have to become introverted. But what is the reason for not being introvert? You have love for BaapDada and service anyway, but there is less love for effort. The reason for the lack of love for effort is that the majority of you become disturbed on seeing the circumstances. You create your stage, Srishti, with the support of the circumstances, Paristhiti. You do not change the circumstances through your own stage. You think that you will be able to create your stage when you change the circumstances. Develop the power of the original state. Baba is saying, develop the power of the original stage of the self through which the circumstances can be changed. Those are external circumstances, situations, whereas this is the original state of the self, Shwasthiti. You become weak by being influenced by external circumstances, and by stabilizing yourself in the original stage of the self, you receive power, and so do you, Baba is saying, and so do not stop because you have been influenced by the external circumstances. The original stage of the self had so much power that it can overcome any kind of external situation. Because of your weakness in stabilizing the self in the original stage, sometimes the external circumstances become powerful. The majority of the children always keep saying, Baba, put this right, then we will be able to become like this. There is a hindrance because of this aspect. There are very few who reveal their own courage in that they will definitely overcome those circumstances. They request, Baba is saying, they request something and that is good. However, together with that request, they do not put into practice the advice they receive. Many files of everyone's request have accumulated. Just as Dharamraj has the accounts, in the same way BaapDada has many requests from your children. There is a file for each one of you. The main thing you have been told is to have love for making effort. What do you call yourself? Effort makers. Since you are effort makers, do you not know what effort is? Do you know your life? What is your effort? Do you know that? Baba is asking, do you know that? You saw the final stage of the corporeal form, how Baba demonstrated to you action in the corporeal form. And so from that you came to know the final stage. According to the final stage, to remove instantly whatever weakness is visible means to have love for effort. Do not do that slowly. Did you see the main virtue of Sakar Baba? He never left anything for later. It had to be done then and there, just as he used to do it at that very moment. In the same way, you have to do it right now. You should not say that you will do it sometime later or that you will do it after 10 or 15 days. We will practice that afterwards when we return home from Madhuban. There are many who wait in this way. They forget to make the preparations. They do not make the preparations, instead, they wait for things. If you stop waiting and start making preparations, then your result will be 75%. The result of the effort of the present time should be less than 75% for the majority of you. Baba is also telling you the result. Some are waiting for the time and some are waiting because of obstacles, some because of their relationships and some because of their own body. But no matter what something is like, whatever is in front of you, whatever the situation, you have to become perfect in that same body. Keep this aim now, because you take the support of something or other, you become dependent. You are dependent on things. Each one of you relates your own story at Amrit Vela. Some say, if I do not have this physical illness, I would make a lot of effort. Some say, remove this bondage. But if one bondage is removed, another one will emerge. If the bondage of the body is removed, a bondage of the mind, a bondage of wealth, or bondage of relationship will emerge. What will you do then? They will not remove themselves. You have to remove them with your own power. Some think that BaapDada will remove them or that they will be removed according to the time. But do not think in this way. The time has now come very close. Those who become slack in their efforts will let this time for effort slip through their hands. Do you know how many births you take? They are countless, and so each birth, I'm sorry, Baba is saying, do you know how many breaths you take? They are countless, and so each breath and each second should be used in a worthwhile way. Now the time is such that if there is any kind of carelessness remaining, they just, Baba is saying, now the time is such that if there is any kind of carelessness remaining, then just as many children lost the great fortune of experiencing a sweet meeting with Sakar Baba, in the same way, this fortunate time of making effort will be lost through your own hands. This is why you are being told about it beforehand. Have love for effort and increase your effort. Baba continues to watch the game from up above. You can also come up and watch it, and you will enjoy yourself a great deal. Baba sees very entertaining games of the children. You can also see them. If you watch while being stable in your elevated stage, you will be able to see the games of others as well as your own. BaapDada continues to watch them. They are games of great amusement. The great Maharathis are not afraid of lions, yet they are afraid of ants. They are not, Baba is saying, they are able to come. Baba is saying they are able to confront a lion easily, but do not know the method of treating. Baba is saying, even though they are able to confront a lion easily, but they do not know the method of treading over an ant. This is the game of the Maharathis. Do you know what the cavalry do? They gallop. Baba also watches the games of the cavalry. Baba has already told you about the Maharathis. The cavalry have a lot of courage and enthusiasm. They even move forward in their effort, but while galloping, they slip off. They do not slip off. They do not fall or get tired. They are tireless and they even continue to move along very well, but they become attracted by the side scenes that come along the path. Even though they continue to make effort, they have greater sanskars of just observing what is this one doing, what is that one doing, how is it doing this. Even I can do that. They compete. The cavalry have a great attraction for observing others. There is an Baba is saying there is an amusing aspect about the infantry also. Baba is telling you about the game. What do they do? It may be a very minor thing, but they turn it into a great mountain. They do not make a mountain into a mustard seed, but instead they make a mustard seed into a mountain and get themselves disturbed. It is nothing, and they make everything out of it, and then looking at its height, they lose their courage. Even then, according to the present time, out of all the three, half of each quality are transforming themselves. This is why BaapDada is smiling on seeing their courage and enthusiasm and seeing them step forward. If each of you is asked who is a Maharathi, who is of the cavalry, and who is of the infantry, will you be able to answer? Acha. The main sanskar of Brahmins is to be a complete renunciate. Why has a gathering of all of you especially been called here now? Your main things are necessary for a gathering. Baba is saying four main things are necessary for a gathering. One, there should be love for one another. Two, a close relationship. Three, responsibility for service. And four, the proof of dharana of knowledge and yoga. Are you ready in all these four aspects? How do you have love for one another? What is the method to develop love for one another? The reason why you become distant with one another is that the sanskars and the thoughts of one another do not match. How can the sanskars and thoughts of all of you become one? Each one of us has our own sanskars. What is the main sanskar of the Brahmins of the concurrence age? What was the main sanskar of the corporeal form? The sanskar of Brahma is the sanskar of Brahmins. What was the main sanskar of Sakar Brahma? You saw that sanskar in Brahma Baba in its complete form, but among the Brahmins it is according to their yoga and power. Baba's main sanskar was of being a complete renunciate. To be egoless means to be a complete renunciate. Such souls surrendered everything that belongs to them. When you become a complete renunciate, you imbibe all the virtues. Not to see the defects of others is also renunciation. Baba is saying not to see the defects of others is also renunciation. If you have the practice of renunciation, you will be able to renounce that too. To be a complete renunciate also means to renounce the awareness of the body. And so the main sanskar of Brahmins is to be a complete renunciate, which main virtues come through this renunciation. Easiness, implying easiness, lightness, and simplicity in nature, and tolerance. Those who have easiness and tolerance attract others and they are able to have love for one another. If there is not easiness, there cannot be love. Baba is saying if there is not easiness, there cannot be love for others. This is the method to become loving towards one another. Firstly, be a complete renunciate even of the body. By being a complete renunciate, there will automatically be easiness and tolerance. The sign of being a complete renunciate is that there will be easiness and tolerance. You saw this in the Sakar form, did you not? Baba was easy natured to the extent that he was knowledgeful, which is known as having the sanskars of childhood. He was mature with elders and a child with children. The behavior of all of you has to be such that the image of Baap and Dada is visible through that. The image will not be visible in your words, but in your behavior. Do you have such behavior now? Is the image of Baap and Dada visible in your behavior? It is visible, but only sometimes. When you stabilize yourself in that stage and then do service, people understand from your words and your face that the one who has given knowledge to you is someone very elevated. They say that they do not see the image of BaapDada in your behavior, but only sometimes. You are a camera. A picture of BaapDada is printed in your camera. Yet you only show it sometimes. Why? Why do you not constantly show that picture? This is the effort. Until when will you keep using the word effort? For how long do you still want to make effort? Will you continue to say until the end that you are effort makers? Will you continue to say it as you are saying it now till the end? The word effort now has to be changed. Although you will remain effort makers till the end, that effort will not be what you are speaking of now. The meaning of effort is not to make the same mistake twice. Are you making such effort? You still have to put the meaning of effort into practical form. If you keep repeating the same mistake, how can you call that making effort? The aim of making effort should be to make effort to be an effort maker. You should remove that use of the word effort. How can you be loving towards one another? You won't become this simply by corresponding through letters or by having a gathering. That is a physical aspect. You can only be loving towards one another when you match the thoughts and sanskars of one another. You have even been told the method for that, to be a complete renunciate. What are the signs of a complete renunciate? Easiness and tolerance. You will become loving when you imbibe these aspects. In order to bring about easiness, simply pay attention to one aspect at this time. It has been seen that at present your stage is based on praise. There are the two terms, praise and defamation. So at the present your stage is based on praise. That is, there is the desire or greed for fruit of the actions you perform. You have a desire for the fruit of the task you perform to a greater extent. If you don't receive praise, you are not able to maintain your stage. And when there is praise, you are able to maintain your stage. If there is defamation, you become orphans. You lose your stage and you forget the Lord and Master. So never think that you should be praised. Do not create your stage on the basis of praise. If your stage is based on praise, you will keep on fluctuating day by day. There will automatically be an influence of the special children. But you must not be impressed by that yourself. If you accept the fruit here, you will finish your fruit on the future. Baba is saying, if you accept the fruit here, you will finish your fruit of the future. To the extent that you make incognito effort accordingly, Baba is saying, to the extent that you make incognito effort accordingly, you are an incognito helper, and to that extent you create your incognito status. No matter how much others praise you, you yourself must not be influenced by that praise. Whatever task you perform, stay at the confluence and then make a judgment, because all of you belong to the confluence age. This is why, whatever happens, there are always two sides to it. Stay at the confluence of both of these and then make a judgment. You must not be on one side too much or on the other side too much. Stay at the confluence. The tasks of you Brahmins of the confluence age perform, by saying the tasks you Brahmins of the confluence age perform are not being performed at the confluence. You go too much to one side or the other. You householders are also helpers in service, and so you have to stay at the confluence in order to look after both. Stabilize yourself in the stage in between the two. If you stay at the confluence, you will be able to do both accurately. Your food, drink, and clothes, etc., are all moderate. You have to make a judgment in this way by being stable in the stage of being in between and then continue to move along. In some aspects, it is visible that you are neither on one side or the other side to a greater extent, whereas you should be in between. The stage of being in between is the seed stage. To be just a point, just as a seed is very subtle, so the seed stage is also very subtle. You need courage and a way to remain stable in that stage. By saying you have also been given the aim of when you must be a child and when you must be a master. Whatever you have to be, by saying whenever you have to be a child, you must not be a master, and whenever you have to be a master, you must not be a child. Many have a misunderstanding about this. You have to check this a great deal. You have to have the full consciousness of being a child and also a master. This is why you are told to stay at the confluence. You must not be a by saying you must not be just a child, nor must you be just a master. By having both virtues, you will be able to do everything accurately. To be a child means to be free from waste thoughts. You simply have to follow the orders and directions you receive. To be a master means to give advice. You also have to observe at which place and in which aspect you need to give advice. You must not become a master everywhere. If you are a master when you have to be a child, there will be a conflict of sanskars. This is why, in order to become each other's helpers, you have to imbibe both aspects. Otherwise, there will be a conflict of sanskars. If you are a master when you have to be a child, then because there are two masters, there will be a conflict of sanskars. You have to be a master as well as a child. Give advice as a master, and then when it becomes final, be a child. And then be a master. Judgment by the intellect is needed for when you have to be a child and when you have to be a master. You have to think about which form you have to adopt at what time. You have to be one with many forms. You must not always have just one form. As is the time, so should be your form. However, you don't become one with many forms in the wrong way. Become this in the right way. Acha. Om Shanti.